Hello humans, Master Dinnerflex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve. And today I'll be going over the Lunalight Raidraptor deck. I'm not sure what to call it yet. I think the OCG version is just called Lunalight, but I'm just going to go ahead and get straight into this. So I'm also going to give you a demonstration of reordering the combo, because there was a flaw I noticed with the combo I showed. There's a small flaw. It's nothing that is immediate, but it's something that if people catch on to this deck, or if it's randomly cited, you can just lose to it. So I reordered the combo a little bit, and I'll show you that. But anyways, let's get into it. Triple Tiger, this is a card you abuse. Triple Kaleido Chick, double Martin, just because you want to make sure you have another one for Called by the Grave if they have it. And then Blue Cat. Now, Blue Cat is a much more going second version. It's a much more going second piece. Like, going first, this thing doesn't really do much. Sometimes you can summon it back if you've had enough bodies with a Tiger, and then you can pop it with Break Sword just to get an extra body. Even then, you kind of don't want to do that. But regardless, this is always an option. It's much better going second because I'm playing Diamond Dire Wolf. And what Diamond Dire Wolf does is it means you get to destroy something without actually losing a single body. And then if you could make a rank 4 but still didn't have access to Kaleido Chick, you popping this with Diamond Dire can get you to Kaleido Chick. So that's really cool. Triple Summoner Monk, an extender, and a consistency booster. There are about 26 or 27 cards in this deck that you need. Every other card is just not needed, but you need to beat a 40. So I'll just put in consistency boosters and extenders, because Summoner Monk gets you another body. And then singing for the birds, Singing Lanius, Bora the Spear, Zephyros the Elite, and Chris the Crack of Dawn. The reason there are 4 of these is because in the combo, you will need to see 3 of the 4 of these. And the problem with playing only 3 of them is you legitimately have to search the 3rd one, otherwise the combo doesn't work. And if you draw one, it just makes it impossible. But if you play 4, you can nullify this. And the thing about the 4th one is Bora the Spear, because this is the one you don't technically need. However, it's very important. Bora the Spear is also really nice because if this is the one you draw, it's an extender once you get to the late part of the combo. So that's pretty cool. And then Zephyros the Elite, you really don't want to draw this one unless you can get it out of your hand. This is the one you always want to summon with Wise Tricks. So yeah, one of those. This one's probably the best one to draw, because it means if you draw this and you make your first Force Tricks, you can search one of the extender Blackwings and then summon this. And if they Ash it and you have this in hand, you still do the combo regardless of Ash. And that's where the combo is most fragile. If you can't get to Singing Lanius with the first Force Tricks, you can really just end your turn and easily lose if you don't have a Called by the Grave or a response, or a follow-up. So this is Singing Lanius is very nice for that. And then another extender. So I can't figure out how many extenders I want to play. Upstart probably will get cut, but the only reason it's even in here now is because it's not because it's Upstart. I never actually activate this because there's so many Garnets in here. It's just a spell for Summoner Monk. Summoning a body from the deck is much better than a 1-for-1 draw. So yeah, but Dinotherium, it's another body. There aren't a lot of level 4s that just summon itself. Dinotherium, however, is one of them. The only others are Photon Thrasher, but Photon Thrasher was harder to use and had less synergy than this because, again, Diamond Dire Wolf. Diamond Dire Wolf in this deck is really insane because it allows you to go second and it actually helps your engine rather than just be there. And then finally, 2 Silent Boots. You need one of them in deck for the combo. If you draw one, I know it's bad reasoning, it's kind of like Brilliant Fusion. The issue is, unlike drawing Garnet with Brilliant Fusion, which is bad, if you draw this, it makes your deck unplayable. So that's why there's 2. And there's actually a benefit to having 2. It means next turn after you do your combo, you can send it again. You can send another one with Rusty. So that's really good. And drawing one of them isn't that bad when you're at the late part of the combo, because then you'll control Rusty Bardish, and then you can just summon it from the hand to help make Proxy Dragon. It being a level 3 kind of sucks because, what is it? It is obviously not you can't make a rank 4 with it, but yeah, it's nice. I'm very glad there's 2 in here. A lot of the times I'm very glad there's 2. And then Triple Perfume, it's the Monster Reborn for your Lunalights. Also, it's the Foolish Burial target. One of the problems you can run into is drawing too much Revival without actually getting to your engine. Which is why you could easily cut this down. Like, you can replace one of these for Reborn. Because most of the time when you're using this, you're using it just to send with Foolish Burial Goods. Your hand already has to be functioning for this to really be a Monster Reborn. I don't know yet. I still really want it in the deck. But we'll see. Then Triple Foolish Burial Goods. It's a consistency booster. Tanky consistency booster. Instant Fusion Extender. Called by the Grave, because like I said, it can be pretty bad if they ash your first 4 Strix. So just having Called by the Grave for it is important. The only other hand trap it loses to is Impermanence, which I'm trying to find a solution to that. But it's on its way. The deck is actually on its way. I think one of the solutions to the getting hand trapped on your first 4 Strix is trying to find another bird extender, but there actually are none. The only thing I could do for extenders is like play 3 Singulaneous or Unexpected Die in like a normal bird monster that has to be dark, but as it turns out, there are no dark Winged Beast normal monsters, so that's really tricky. So it might go up to 3 Singulaneous, but since this is early in testing, I'm just playing only the cards I need. So yeah. So, and then for the combo, you have Soul Shave and Launch. Either way, you can search both of them. The Phantom Knight, like both the rank ups can be searched with Wise Tricks, and even if you draw Launch, even if you draw either of them, it's fine because you don't necessarily need to. If you draw a Quick Launch, you'll just use Boots to search Shade Brigandine or Fog Blade, whichever one you think is better. And then Soul Shade Force, if you draw it, it's fine because Wise Tricks will just set this. And it's just very strong. And then Upstart, not even to be Upstart, which is weird. It's just to be a spell for Summoner Monk. I guess in that theory, it could possibly, very possibly be a Foolish, because that allows Zephyros to kind of be an extender just in case Force Tricks gets in the way, gets interrupted. So we'll see. And for the traps, 1 Fog Blade, just the 2-card combo, you pretty much won't use this. But if you're gonna have a 5-card hand, and if a single one of those is a body that just summons itself, a level 4 body that just summons itself, you can instead just search Fog Blade and it works entirely. Shade Brigandine, it's only really needed for the combo if you only have the 2 cards. So that's good. And then one of this card is like the worst draw ever if you can't get it out of your hand. Which is why I might cut down on like the Perfumes and the Foolish Burial Goods, is because these cards really suck to draw unless you can immediately discard them. And the only time you can discard them is if you get like another one of them in the grave. usually Foolish Feral Goods are like using a perfume, but this one you can't even like use for anything. It has a dumb effect that you can't use in this deck. So yeah. I still got to play it though. It's another consistency booster, and it's an extender as well because it just summons from the deck. So that's really good. So for the extra deck, these 7 cards, regardless of your opening hand, as long as it's playable, are like you're probably going to go into all of these. So these 7 are a necessity for the combo: Wise Tricks, Proxy Dragon, Rusty Bardish. 2 Force Tricks, you will make both. Infinity, Thanatos, because it's the only XE that just detaches whenever it wants. And it lets you make As a Thought, and this card's very powerful, summoning on your opponent's turn. And then also kind of necessities is Mud Dragon of the Swamp, because you're playing Instant Fusion and you have to play a target. And this can also change its attribute to Dark, which can help you make Thanatos if you're in a real pinch. Or like some gets interrupted late in the combo. And then Karen Gorgon. I say this is kind of a necessity because if you, in the 2-card combo, if you have any other body, a lot of times what you'll do is you'll still search Shade Brigadine, but now you will end with Karen Gorgon, which can protect your stuff from targeting. So you'll end a field with Proxy Dragon, Karen Gorgon, Rusty Bardish, As a Thought on your opponent's turn, and Infinity, which just makes it to where like any deck can't out this, because Karen Gorgon, the thing about the field of As a Thought and Infinity is if your opponent is playing Sky Striker and they have Impermanence, Widow Anchor, they can deal with it. However, with Karen Gorgon, that is no longer an option. And it also just makes Impermanence not an option at all. So that's really good. And then for the flex spots, I say flex, but you still, like, these are still really important. Underclock, just in case things go really wrong, you need to make a link. You can use this one. Boral Sword, this is probably the least important. I pretty much never make it. I say I never make it. I make it sometimes. But I think the situations where this comes up, you can already OTK them. It's almost to a point where I think I just need, like, Land Phalangus instead. Or maybe a second Wise Tricks, just in case things go wrong. I don't know. Like, this one's really not helpful, but it is sometimes so powerful it can push an OTK through when he didn't deserve it. Then Castel for Thunder Dragons. What I didn't realize, originally I was like, oh, it's also a bird, so I can make Wise Tricks with it. Turns out, nope, it needs Dark Birds. It's, I don't know, Wise Tricks, like I said, it's really getting your first Force Tricks ashed or Impermanence is really, really bad, so I gotta, like, find a way to get another Dark Bird without actually having to do anything. But Castel, it really is just for Thunder Dragons. It's also a bird for Diamond Dire. Yeah, not much else to say about it. It is a going second card. Still very strong. Evil Swarm Ouroboros. This is another, like, Castel kind of monster, because it can bounce anything on the field back to the hand. But also, if you're going first and you just have the nuts, sometimes you can, like, make a rank 3 level 4 XC before you need to make Proxy Dragon. And I was in that situation. Like, you've seen it before with Amaterasu. Like, I was doing that. But in those situations, I also discovered that what I can do instead is make Evil Swarm Ouroboros and just take a card out of their hand. So they have 5 cards to deal with the field I made instead of the original 6. It hardly ever comes up. This is a much more going second card, because when I say going second, it's more of like a disruptive card after the combo, because then you just summon it to a zone Rusty points to, so you pop a card, and then you use this to bounce another card. That's what it's really used for. But sometimes in those scenarios, taking a card out of your opponent's hand is pretty strong. And then probably the best flex spot is Diamond Dire Wolf. Just lets you play through back row. even though like Tornado Dragon is really powerful at doing that, Diamond Direwolf can just hit anything, and it like forces them to use things because Diamond Direwolf can still hit monsters where Tornado Dragon only baits out back row, but this baits out monster effects, so that's really cool. And for the side deck, doesn't really matter, except I've noticed the extra deck is really tight because it is a ranked 4 deck in Master Rule 4. So like Dweller is for specifically Burning Abyss because Dweller is effectively as a thought against that deck. They can't really do anything, and it like saves you steps so you can put other things in your extra deck, but I still don't think you really need it. Tornado Dragon for back row decks, and then Exciton Knight for back row decks. It is like an extra deck version of Evenly Matched. So it's like I was saying earlier, you just throw 2 level 4s on board, and then you keep doing it and keep doing it until they run out of responses. And then if you can still make your plays, then you can really go off. And that's the whole purpose of the deck. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I rearranged the combo. Because I'm going to go ahead and show you it in action. But I rearranged the combo because you'll see it here. Cyber Dragon Infinity turns out is a Cyber Dragon monster. And it was being summoned, and then I had a monster in the extra monster zone. So if your opponent decides to play Mega Fleet, or just happens to play Mega Fleet, what will happen is they'll end up just outing half your board without them doing anything, and then them getting a card out of it. So I had to change that. So as you can see here, just doing the whole thing. So let me pause right here. So this is what I'm doing now. As you've seen in the replay, I'm reordering the combo so that Rusty Bardish is down here and Infinity is up here. So that way your deck doesn't randomly lose to a Mega Fleet Dragon. But I have a few more extenders, so I'm going to be able to make Karen Gorgon. And I detach that for turn, which is very important. So my board is, okay, so I'll have access to the Azathoth on their turn. And then I have Infinity to negate anything, Karen Gorgon to protect from targeting, Proxy Dragon to protect from destruction except mass destruction. Then, again, Fog Blade just to protect really from attacks because their monsters aren't threats right now. So let's go ahead and show the rest of it. He activates a danger, chain. He'll still get to summon his danger possibly. But however, here's what I said about Rusty, is that because you're summoning a Dark XZ to its own, if they do get to summon the danger, you just pop it, and then there goes their turn. Yep, and that's pretty much it. So yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to keep working on this deck. If you guys can think of any Dark Winged Beasts that are extenders, let me know, because this deck can really use them. So yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and remember, Master Dinnerflex will take your soul.